Good afternoon, folks. John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru. I'm responding to an email I received from somebody that took one of my online courses related to documentation. And this is a person who works in an inpatient Part A setting. And she's an OT. Not going to give any more details than that. So this is her basic question or point. I'm an OT working in a blank setting. We are being told by administration to provide added support for the patient's medical needs / reason for requiring an inpatient stay in our daily notes. Some of us are already attempting to do this in our assessments and others are not. Management is suggesting that we should all write the same tagline at the end of our evals and daily notes, both PT and OT. They propose that we write something like this: patient benefits from PT/OT for close monitoring of vital signs with activity. We would write it every day, both disciplines from admission to discharge, and this would help to show that the patient has ongoing medical needs. I took your class and follow you on YouTube, and this seems repetitive and not patient-specific. Can you offer any advice or examples that would better highlight medical issues? She is absolutely right. It is repetitive and not patient-specific. That is really bad advice. It never ceases to amaze me that therapists from upper management and companies that you think would know better would have them document something as non-specific to a patient as that. And frankly, a lot of patients don't need close monitoring of vital signs by a therapist. They might not have cardiac or pulmonary instability that requires them to be monitored by a skilled professional. They might be able to be monitored by a non-licensed person safely and effectively. Not every patient has problems with pulse oximetry, heart rate, blood pressure response, etc. And so hanging your hat just on that is not skilled, and it's not going to work. Patients' variability in their performance doesn't only have to do with vital signs. So we need to be monitoring for anything that's going on that suggests variability, like variability for pain is a big one. Variability of balance as they get fatigued is a big one. And then we adjust our treatment according to that variability of fatigue. Inpatient settings, one of the things you got to prove that is the patient is unable to safely get home. And so your analysis should include things like standardized test scoring that shows they would not be safe and effective living by themselves or even with a non-skilled caregiver. So just saying that you're monitoring them closely for vital signs means nothing by itself, and it's terrible advice. And I would suggest that these facilities likely are going to be heavily scrutinized with this kind of practice. Cookie cutter approach to patient care never equals payable claims. And one of the ways that Medicare can audit you is through what's called a targeted probe and educate, where they will pull 20 to 40 charts all at one time and review them. And if I, as a reviewer, saw that as a tagline every single note, I'd be questioning that. The other thing is, I doubt there's a lot of objectivity behind that. So you're saying you're closely monitoring vital signs. Prove you need to. What are the actual measures? What are they showing? What's your analysis related to those measures? Why is a skilled person needed to do that? Why couldn't a CNA monitor the vital signs? In other words, there's a lot of questions left unanswered, and it is really bad advice. So I appreciate my viewer. Not only does she correctly identify the issue, but points out the very problems associated with this issue of advice. So she should be the one giving documentation advice at her agency. Anyway, John Adamson, the documentation rehab and documentation guru, almost reversed that. Got a little dyslexic for a moment. I just wish you a good day. Take care and God bless.